just so happy. I'm just so happy.
Backstage in WWE is where the real magic happens. Away from the pyrotechnics, beyond the scripted promos, stripped of the character work, this is where you see the actual human beings behind the larger-than-life personas. These are the moments that rarely make it to television, the raw emotions that cameras accidentally capture, the genuine connections between performers who've shed blood, sweat, and tears together. Today, we're diving into some of the most wholesome, heartwarming, and downright emotional backstage moments in WWE history. The kind of footage that reminds you why wrestling isn't just about entertainment, it's about family, respect, and shared sacrifice. Let's get into it. Stone Cold lifts up the next generation. Stone Cold Steve Austin has built a legendary career on being the toughest, most no-nonsense badass in WWE history. He's the Texas Rattlesnake, the guy who stunned his boss repeatedly, who intimidated everyone who crossed his path. But after WrestleMania 41, cameras caught a side of Austin that fans rarely see. He walked backstage specifically to find Io Sky, who had just delivered an incredible performance in her title match. Austin approached her with nothing but respect and admiration, congratulating her on killing it out there. You could see Sky still riding that adrenaline high, overwhelmed by the moment. And here's Stone Cold himself telling her she absolutely delivered. This mirrors a similar moment years earlier when Austin did the same thing with Sasha Banks after her first WrestleMania. Sasha was doubting herself, thinking she hadn't performed well, and Stone Cold made it his mission to tell her the world saw something special. That's the beauty of these moments. Legends taking time to lift up the next generation, ensuring they understand their worth. The Viper shows his softer side. Randy Orton is known as the Viper. Cold, calculated, deadly. His entire persona revolves around being ruthless and emotionless. But after WrestleMania 41, cameras caught Randy backstage running into Bron Breakker, and what unfolded was one of the most unexpectedly wholesome interactions you'll ever see. Instead of the usual intensity, Randy was smiling, joking around, and showing genuine admiration for Breakker's physique and performance. For a young wrestler like Bron, who's still carving his path in WWE, getting that kind of respect and acknowledgement from someone like Randy Orton, a multi-time world champion with decades of experience, is absolutely massive. Randy called him a functional illusion, cracking jokes about his build, completely breaking character in a moment of pure camaraderie. These are the interactions that matter. When a legend tells you you're doing something right, it validates all the sacrifices, all the training, all the pain. You can see in Breakker's face how much that moment meant. Becky Lynch's emotional pride for her friends. Becky Lynch has one of the toughest personas in WWE, the man, the trailblazer who fought her way to the top of a male-dominated industry. But at Night of Champions, cameras caught Becky completely breaking down emotionally backstage. She was watching Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn make their entrance to defend the undisputed tag team titles, and tears were streaming down her face. What makes this moment so powerful is understanding the context. Kevin and Sami aren't just Becky's co-workers, they're two of her closest friends in the business. She's traveled with them for years, trained alongside them, shared the grind of indie wrestling before any of them made it to WWE. Seeing them step into that spotlight together, defending championships on one of the biggest stages in wrestling, hit her emotionally in a way that had nothing to do with storylines. It was pure pride for people she loves. That's what separates wrestling from other forms of entertainment. These bonds run deeper than scripted rivalries. They're real friendships forged through shared struggle. A father's tearful embrace after Shane's death-defying leap. WrestleMania 32 gave us one of the most shocking and dangerous moments in WWE history. Shane McMahon leaping off the top of Hell in a Cell, crashing through the announce table below. The entire stadium gasped. Fans genuinely feared for his life. But what most people never saw was what happened when Shane walked backstage afterward. The first person waiting wasn't a medic or a trainer. It was his father, Vince McMahon. And in a moment that strips away all the Mr. McMahon character work, all the scripted family drama storylines, you see a father embracing his son with tears in his eyes. Vince hugged Shane tight, patted him on the back, and congratulated him for putting everything on the line. Bray Wyatt's genuine connection with fans. Bray Wyatt was one of the most creative, beloved performers in WWE history. His connection with fans went beyond normal wrestler-fan relationships because Bray genuinely cared about the people who supported him. At Clash at the Castle, a few fans showed up hours before doors opened, hoping to catch glimpses of their favorite wrestlers arriving. What they didn't expect was Bray Wyatt himself walking up to them. Instead of rushing past with security, Bray stopped, shook every hand, personally thanked them for coming early to support the show, and had genuine conversations. It was such a simple gesture, but it showed exactly why Bray meant so much to so many people. He never forgot that without fans, WWE doesn't exist. He treated people with respect and kindness, even when cameras weren't watching. His passing hit the wrestling world harder than most because everyone knew Bray was genuinely one of the good ones, a talent who cared about his craft and the people who appreciated it. Edge's class comforting AJ Styles' daughter. After their dream match at WrestleMania 38, AJ Styles walked backstage sore, exhausted, and visibly disappointed after losing to Edge. It was a huge match that AJ had wanted for years, and coming up short clearly hurt. But what happened next showed Edge's class. Edge noticed AJ's young daughter in the hallway, visibly upset after watching her father lose. Instead of celebrating his victory or rushing to media obligations, Edge walked over, got down to her eye level, reintroduced himself, and assured her that her dad was okay and that everything was part of the show. For Edge, who has daughters of his own, to take that moment to comfort a child who didn't understand why her hero lost meant everything to AJ. He later talked about how much that gesture meant, how Edge got it in a way not everyone in the business does. That's fatherhood meeting professionalism, compassion transcending competition. A Jay Styles heartbreak when the club got split. The 2016 WWE draft was completely real. None of the wrestlers knew where they were being assigned until announcements happened live. That uncertainty created genuine, raw reactions. When AJ Styles discovered that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, his brothers in the club, were being split from him and sent to a different brand, you could see the heartbreak written across his face. These weren't just tag team partners. AJ, Gallows, and Anderson had traveled the world together, wrestled in Japan together, built a brotherhood that extended far beyond WWE. Having that torn apart by a draft pick, with no warning and no say in the matter, legitimately devastated AJ. The footage shows him processing the news in real time, trying to maintain composure while his world shifted. These moments remind us that behind every sports entertainment decision are real people whose lives and relationships get affected. Jey Uso's championship celebration with the locker room. When Jey Uso won the WWE Championship, the backstage celebration was electric. Cameras caught the genuine love from the entire locker room, hugs from family, congratulations from peers, and even a handshake from Triple H himself. What makes Jey's journey so special is that he spent years as just a tag team wrestler, always playing second fiddle to his twin brother Jimmy or cousin Roman Reigns. He was the loyal soldier, the guy who never complained, who did his job without seeking individual glory. Winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania represented vindication for years of dedication. The emotion in his eyes, the pride from his family, the respect from Triple H. It all validated a career spent putting others first, finally getting his moment. This is why wrestling fans get invested. We watch these journeys unfold over years and celebrate when people finally reach their mountaintop. Jacob Fatu breaks character for family pride. Right after Jey Uso's Royal Rumble victory, Jacob Fatu completely broke character backstage. There was no bloodline posturing, no storyline drama, just pure family pride as Jacob embraced Jey and congratulated him. In real life, these men are cousins, part of the legendary Anoa'i wrestling family that includes The Rock, Roman Reigns, the Usos, and countless other legends. That family connection runs deeper than any scripted angle. Seeing Jacob drop the tough guy act to show genuine happiness for his cousin's success reminds us that bloodline storylines work so well because there's real family history underneath. These aren't just co-workers, they're relatives who grew up together, who understand the weight of carrying their family legacy forward. The locker room rallies around The Undertaker. After WrestleMania 30, The Undertaker wasn't himself. The concussion he suffered breaking the streak left him shaken and unsure. Heading into WrestleMania 31 against Bray Wyatt, Taker didn't have his usual confidence. Backstage footage shows Triple H pulling him aside with words of encouragement, reminding the Phenom who he is and what he's accomplished. Then Brock Lesnar, the man who ended the streak, stepped in to fire Taker up, telling him to show everyone who the hell he is. This was the locker room rallying around their legend, their elder statesman who'd given everything to the business for 3 decades. Seeing these tough, competitive performers come together to lift up someone who was doubting himself shows the brotherhood that exists behind the curtain. They needed Undertaker to be Undertaker, and they made sure he remembered his legacy before walking through that curtain. The soul of wrestling lives backstage. And that's what makes WWE special. What happens behind the curtain is often more powerful than what happens in the ring. These moments prove that beyond the characters, beyond the storylines, beyond the scripted drama, there are real people sharing real emotions, real friendships, and real respect. The legends who take time to encourage the next generation. The friends who cry for each other's success. The fathers who embrace sons after dangerous stunts. The families who celebrate together. The locker room that rallies around their own. This is the soul of professional wrestling, the human connections that make everything else matter. If you enjoyed this look at rare backstage moments, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and let me know in the comments which moment hit you the hardest. I'll catch you in the next one.